All right, so for this, we're going to be traveling back to the lonely incel island of the podcast, the Poo Poo Eaters, and we're going to witness two grown men sucking Russell Brand's dick. So let's go.
Here's some words I thought I'd never say. Russell Brand is doing the Lord's work when it comes to critiquing the great and powerful and complaining and being concerned about the direction in which our societies are heading.
Ah, I see. He is going into based Karen mode. Okay, sure, absolutely. I'm sorry. I'm okay. I can't explain why I'm laughing right now. All I can say is I don't remember what his name is. I want to say his name is Gollum, but he reminds me more of like a very twinkish Samwise Gamgee to Sargon's Frodo here. I every time I'm not gonna explain why that dude makes me laugh, but he does. It's an outburst. It's because I imagine Sargon like sexually dominating him all the fucking time. I get this vibe from them. It's very strange.
And I just never thought I would say that because I've never been a fan of Russell Brand at all. He's a comedian, but I never particularly found him funny. And he's got a long history of basically being a bit of an edgelord. Like, you can just go to his Wikipedia page and see all the scandals he's been embroiled in. He began as a comedian, became an MTV presenter, then jumped onto other presentation of other shows.
Wow, that's quite a scandal. Oh, no.
Then in 2007, sort of 2013, he appeared in various Hollywood movies, and then he went back to doing stand-up, and then he became basically a full-time political activist. And it's like, okay, but what are the politics that he's promoting? Well, basically communism.
No. And this I find that this is what's so fucking fascinating to me. So Russell Brand, I will give Russell Brand this. He is a jack of many trades, and I actually did think some of his activism was pretty good. You know, he very specifically was doing a hands-on approach to trying to help pull some people out of poverty. He had this idea that he was going to just like show by example a good way to help people get off the streets, et cetera, et cetera. And you know, it's cool. It's fine. However, he's always been an attention whore. And I mean always. No, every single time. 100%. And so for Sargon might be surprised by this, which I don't think he actually is if he thought about this longer than 5 seconds, but it does not surprise me, and I'll explain in a minute.
So it was like, right, okay, I'm not a fan, but I mean,
so it's in wealth inequality, addiction, corporate capitalism, climate change, and media bias. And for Carl, that's communism. Yes, communism.
He's had many scandals, like calling Nigel Farage a pound shop Enoch Powell and stuff like that. But he got in a lot of trouble in 2008 with Saks Gate. You probably don't remember this. No. Him and Jonathan Ross decided to phone up Andrew Sachs, who played Manuel in Fawlty Towers, and left a message because Russell Brand had dated his granddaughter or something, and just saying like effed his daughter and stuff like that, or granddaughter. It's like, okay, that's gross.
Who the fuck cares? What? Also, that is just the most British fucking story I've ever heard in my life. Who the fuck is Jonathan Ross? Who the fuck is Andrew? Who gives a shit? What the fuck? Oh my god.
You know,
wait, is this the English version of like Kanye and Skeet Davidson like beef? Is this kind of what it is? But instead it's like, you know, some vagabond diddling the granddaughter of a English aristocrat.
Jonathan Ross and Russell Brand. Russell Brand, I think, got fired from the BBC, and Jonathan Ross got suspended. But anyway, it was puerile nonsense, and this was the kind of thing you had during noughties. But then in about 2013, he became a commie activist. He did some guest editing for the Statesman? New Statesman, yeah. And then was appeared on Newsnight, where he was grilled by Jeremy Paxman. And Jeremy Paxman, because he was calling for a revolution. It's always good, isn't it? Multi-millionaire, famous celebrity.
Carl, you really need to start feeding your fucking sex puppet here some amphetamines or something, because the motherfucker's asleep. He's fucking asleep. And like somebody's gonna need to carry this if you keep like if you haven't even like pre-read this to get this in your head before you're going to be going live to record your video, and you can't even have like your little sex golem over there fucking moving around and like kind of doing something to stimulate the audience, like Jesus Christ, dude, come on.
I want a revolution. Okay, let's appropriate some property.
Like,
Yours first.
I think that's a quote. A socialist egalitarian system based off the massive redistribution of wealth.
Yeah,
Yay. Okay.
yeah. We'll start with your mansions, Russell. No, but this is Pax.
Maybe it was communist or something. I don't know. Whatever. Russell Brand's fucking who? Whatever. Anyway, let's go.
Was like, okay, what would the revolution look like? And he basically was like, well, communism. It's like, okay, thanks, Russell. But
All right, they're just gonna read his fucking Wikipedia. I want to hear who gives a shit about his Wikipedia. I want to hear about why suddenly now you wanna stroke. Is he Greek? He looks kind of Greek. Maybe it's just because he's hairy. Is that racist? Did I just do a racism? Uh-oh. Did I just do a racism? Whatever.
But then he started getting kind of based, and we'll just go through just some of the videos he's been putting out, and I'm actually quite impressed. We won't bother with any clips or anything, but
Also, wait. I got to point this out too. One thing I've noticed about Russell Brand, I was going to make a video about this myself, but it's kind of cool that Sargon's like bringing this up anyway, so I can kind of point this out. This whole like when you look at the titles of his videos, the title of the Russell Brand videos are like they're half Tim Pool clickbait and half call for an uprising clickbait. So like, you know, hold on, these are actually really good ideas. Oh no, did I get canceled? It's okay, I have Greek friends. I actually do.
in this one he's just like, look, basically the people at the top view you as the enemy of the state. Like, view the regular person as the enemy of the state. It's like, yeah, we've got lots of evidence of that. But this was back in November 2021, so it's like, okay, fair enough. And the next one is cheering CNN just being called out to its face.
CNN coverage called out to its face. So Carl is getting very excited by the titles of these. Okay.
So the mainstream media, bad, yeah, okay, agree. I mean, Russell Brand, he's had bad coverage from the mainstream media, but he's never really had bad coverage from the mainstream media, right? He's never been called a Nazi and this and that and the other. You know, it's always been like, oh, isn't Russell Brand like so kooky? You know, because he's always been very left wing, and so they want to protect their own. But now that's changing, in fact. But
Okay, it's fascinating to me that this is the direction that it's going. Look, the way in which like these types of grifter people always talk about is like their political ideology is some immutable characteristic, or at least if it's not an immutable characteristic, it's something that's so monolithically fucking huge that it takes immense effort to climb that mountain and get over to the other side. And that's why when you have these like, why I left the left, or my deprogramming from the right wing sort of thing, it's always the same goddamn shit. It's always the same fucking thing. It's entirely this notion of like changing your mind is a very, very hard thing to do. Now, for a regular ass person, that's usually pretty true. It is. Regular people have a hard time challenging their own convictions. That's true. But it really doesn't necessarily mean whether or not you're like assuming a different type of label. It's you shifting the dynamics of what is a priority to you and what you actually like feel and believe. If you're addressing maybe your prejudices or your fears or whatever, it is a huge undertaking. But it's not like I flip the switch from left to right. But, and this is the caveat, when you are an internet personality, it is very, very easy to do. Very easy. And it's called checking your fucking analytics and seeing where the money's coming from. That's why this shit happens all the fucking time.
But anyway, yeah, so, you know, cheering on the reputational destruction of CNN, good stuff. Opposing the censoring of the Let's Go Brandon meme.
Who the fuck is censoring Let's Go Brandon? Nobody thinks Let's Go Brandon should be censored. Nobody fucking gives a shit about it. The only time I ever hear anybody say anything disparaging about Let's Go Brandon is calling Rightoids a bunch of fucking wanker-ass pussies for not just saying fuck Joe Biden. I'll say it. Fuck Joe Biden. There's a bunch of shit that he said he was going to do that he has not yet done. And until he does those things, fuck Joe Biden. Is he doing an okay job? Better than Trump, sure. But enough that I'm going to be like, no. Motherfucker, fulfill campaign promises. Any president ever in the history of ever fulfill at least 50% of your campaign promises challenge impossible level. Like, what the fuck, man? Please. Jesus Christ.
Good.
You found it funny, apparently. So it's like, okay.
Yeah, it's good
surprising. Yeah, it is. Admitting that Trump did not collude with Russia. And this, of course, got him labeled as being pro-Trump. Whereas now, I think these days he calls himself an anarchist and says that he thinks that Trump and Biden are basically two wings of the same bird. You know, the sort of I'm not interested in politics position, which is okay. You know, but he was, misrepresented by the media. Turns out Trump was right about Russia, and he made a video telling everyone about it. Nearly 1 million views on it. It's good stuff. He was opposing facial recognition software. Good for him. Calling out Australian tyranny. Again, another good.
I'm just imagining you just hitting like on all of these. Just
if I bothered liking YouTube videos, I would. I just watch them then.
One of my favorite things, too, while they're talking, I'm barely listening to what they're fucking saying and filleting Russell, but I'm looking at, like, the pause. Every single pause of Russell Brand makes him look like a fucking lunatic.
Okay, but good stuff.
But yeah, no, all things I totally 100% agree with. How the media is dying and is paid to lie? Yep, that's correct. Well done, Russell. The fact that we're being led by total morons, which is true. Our leaders are actually deeply unimpressive people.
Okay, so what I want to point out about this is every single fucking thing that Russell Brand ever says on his channel, and I've watched a few of them. We made a couple of videos of Russell Brand, and all of these talking points here that he's saying, none of this is new, and none of it is that interesting, and none of it is revelatory. It's all the same tired shit I have literally heard for 20 years. And it's probably been going on longer than that, but I just wasn't paying that much attention because I was younger. It's just regurgitated same old shit. It's the same fucking thing. You know what this is? Okay, you know what this is? This is a really, really bizarre parasocial chain, like fuck train, okay? Not gang bang, because not everybody's getting it the same. But it's a fuck ladder, okay? It's a fuck ladder. It's kind of like one hand jerking the dick of the next as they kind of like just go downhill, all right? So this type of thing is constantly a parasocial reinforcement, and this type of content has nothing to do with challenging norms. It has nothing to do with like revolutionizing new ideas and making people think or making people wake up. Nobody who watches these types of videos by Russell Brand are waking up. It's the same tired fucking regurgitated bullshit. Instead, all it is for you, if you have these preconceived notions or biases, you watch this and you're like, I knew I was right. I just hadn't heard somebody like maybe say it in that specific way. True, it's exact same content of a million other fucking videos, but it was said a little bit slightly differently, and it's coming from a man who is very hairy and I suspect might be Greek. So and so it fulfills an emotional need. There's nothing really deeper than that. And so when you have it on that level, it's just a very, very slow hand job train down to make people feel relief. At the same time, little parasites like fucking Carl over here and his Schmeagol sex golem fuck puppet Callum or whatever the fuck his name are going to then reinforce and pump the dick of Russell Brand. And all of this just creates this mountain of cum-infused fucking bullshit that is really saying nothing. It's saying nothing, and it's just a constant squawking of emotionally unstable and vulnerable people listening to something that's going to make them feel better. Was that a good... I don't know. That might not have made any sense at all. I've been sick for a week. Whatever.
On an individual level. And that is worth noting. He's opposed vaccine mandates.
Oh, yeah. I forgot Carl is an anti-vaxxer now, by the way.
How is... he's not, in the left-wing narrative anymore.
No, I'm not finding anything to disagree with.
No, not at all. And the thing is, in the last, say...
That's so fucking weird. Yeah, wanting to save lives by using, available biomedical... technology is very left-wing. Like, it's very right-wing to be based and die of a preventable disease. What the fuck?
5 months, all of his videos, almost all of them, have been this sort of consistent, almost the David Icke position, frankly. Like, all the power structures are bad and all the people in them corrupt and everything they want to do is bad. It's like, yeah, well done. That's true. That's absolutely correct. He opposes social media censorship by Silicon Valley.
Fucking pause game, dude. The fucking pause game. Jesus Christ. All right. How is he just going to keep going through this shit? Oh my God. Here, let's skip ahead just to see if they like monologue about this a little bit.
Turning up to his channel and going, "Argh!"
But
I can't stand it.
He is invading her turf. The media, as Mika Brzezinski pointed out, they're the ones who program people's minds. They're the narrative setters, and that's how they think of themselves. And Russell Brand is getting like 50 million views a month. And so
But again, it's not personal.
it kind of is to them.
I know, but in the sense of like, it's not really about her.
No.
It's so interesting to me how this has to be rehearsed. Oh, no way. No, absolutely not. Fuck no. No. Neither of these two especially have very much talent for this anyway. I always think it's really interesting too when people are like, well, the mainstream media are programming people with the this, that, and the other thing. And then if you look at like where all of the majority of the views for like cable news is, the majority of the views, the highest number of views go to Fox News and specifically Tucker fucking Carlson. But that doesn't count. That doesn't count because it doesn't fit into what we're trying to talk about. Okay, what about the most popular any kind of show out there? Oh, that's Joe Rogan. Well, he's not programming people. It's the media. It's the media because I don't like the media, but I do like these wildly popular things. But they're not programming people because I like them. Carl and whom? That's his sex puppet.
No,
it's about
not.
the institution.
Although she has tried to personalize it, as you saw in the title of this article.
I know, but it's
But
pathetic.
It's absolutely pathetic.
She's as replaceable with any other stooge.
Absolutely. But the point is, he's invading on their turf, and he's not dogmatic, and he's not judging people, and it's like, oh no, the right thing to do. Like, be nice.
I guess they're talking about some article that was
have an
written
open
about
conversation.
Russell.
The lucky winner.
I'm just curious who actually wrote it. Clements Michalin. Russell Brand is the new Joe Rogan, and I'm the one he warned you about. If you think either of these pretty or reply guys are wrong, then you've just proved that they're right. I mean, maybe. The thing is, like, this whole thing with Russell Brand, and I mean this as sincerely as I possibly can, over and over and over again, what is happening with Russell Brand is very simple. Russell Brand more than likely started doing this because he has a strategist that told him this is the move. More than likely. Because I don't think necessarily that he's that smart. He might be that smart. He might be. Because I don't think he's necessarily a stupid guy. But Russell Brand, as much as he might have like believed in certain amounts of activism, he believes more in getting attention. And that has been very obvious for a very long time. Russell now knows that the most virally growing and powerful fucking demographic in order to boost a brand, get a fuck ton of views, a fuck ton of money, and then start moving on that fucking train of like self-promotion, because he's not in movies anymore, is to embrace the right-wing patriot paranoia about the government, paranoia about, vaccines and blah, blah, blah movement. He's just another fucking adherent who's jumping on the fucking train. That's all it is. That's all it fucking is. And like the only thing I can assume is that the podcast of the poo-poo eaters here are hoping to leech a little bit off by servicing Sir Brand's turgid phallus a little bit, and maybe they'll like suck some extra views out of it. It's the same thing. It's all the same thing. The mainstream by all metrics, including the Democrat ones, mostly program people to be conservative. Agreed. Oh, dude, the whole thing is so fucking bananas because, like, there's this way in which people want to talk about it, and they say things like, well, we have to break up big tech because Silicon Valley is very, like, on the left and liberal and blah, 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 blah. No, they're fucking not. You think the people who run or own Twitter or Facebook are fucking left? They're not. Or any of these companies that put fucking rainbows and shit in their fucking logos and shit that they're left wing. They're not. They're fucking not. Society is progressive. Overwhelmingly so. And we're all trying to move towards good things. And they're like, oh, well, we want you to buy our product, consume our product. So we're going to appeal to you and we're going to posture and show ways in which we're just like you, actually. And you should buy our products because we believe in the things that you believe. Yet at the same fucking time, when push comes to shove, when they have to choose whether or not they're going to support candidates that are going to increase their profit margins through tax codes, through lobbying, through whatever, they are incredibly right-wing. Incredibly so. In every economic way. And that's what they fucking care about. They care about money. They don't actually give a shit about the societal ramifications of the things that otherwise that might be impacted by their choices in jumping in with conservative economic values. That is simple it. But that's the truth. And people like these fucking dickheads and all these other assholes out there that talk about big tech, Tim Pool, fucking Sargon of Akkad, all these fucking dipshits will always tell you that big tech and these big corporations are all left-wing because it serves them to try and cast doubt. Because actually, we're the rebels, actually. We're not the ones that are big and part of this fucking overwhelming machine that perpetuates itself over and over and over again through various systems. No, we're the renegades. We're the mavericks. It's all marketing. It's all bullshit. Bullshit. Anyway, it feels good it feels good to actually be able to kind of rant again. I've been sick for way too long. Anyway, I'm just fuck it. We're done with this video. We're done. Whatever. God damn.